One of my favorite things lately has been interacting with all of the other like-minded small business owners inside of my free online community. If you want access to free resources, tools, trainings, tons of great sales advice, and just general encouragement for your business journey, then click the link in the show notes and join myself and other small business owners inside the She Sells Differently Facebook group today. And setting those goals for my business, I want to make sure that they align with the values for my business, with the mission of my business, and where I want to head for the new year. I also set specific goals, sales and revenue goals. I want them to be realistic, but also I want them to push me and my team to grow and look at the big picture. Sometimes we set too realistic goals, and that can prevent us from really pushing and stretching ourselves. Hi, friends. Welcome to She Sells Differently, the show for aspiring women entrepreneurs looking to overcome the fear of selling and grow thriving businesses from a place of authenticity and confidence. I'm Andy Hart, and it wasn't all that long ago that I was a sales executive for a Fortune 500 company. But I knew in my heart that I was called to use my gifts for something more, something different. That's exactly why I created the She Sells Differently podcast. Each episode is going to deliver you business strategies, tools, and mindset shifts to help set you and your brand apart from our culture's expectations. It's time to elevate your sales and build a profitable, sustainable business you're proud of, one built on integrity, grace, and humility. It's time to learn how to sell differently. Welcome to the She Sells Differently podcast. I am grateful that you are tuning in today for another episode as we are on our way to wrapping up 2025. No, 2024. I'm jumping ahead of myself. We are on our way to wrapping up 2024 and moving into 2025. And today we are going to be talking about setting yourself up for success in the new year. I cannot believe that 2024 is coming to an end. And if you're anything like me, I love to take some time at the end of the year to really think back about the highs, the lows, things that went really well in my business and my life, celebrate those wins, but also think about things that I want to learn from this year and how I can implement those lessons as I move forward into the new year. And so I am going to give you a checklist of sorts in today's episode of things that you can really do and think through as you are closing out 2024 and setting yourself up for a successful 2025. So let's dive on in. So the first thing that I really like to do is to sit down and look at what were some of my top sales strategies, what were the products that really performed well for me, what were the events that I executed that really brought in the most revenue, and how can I capitalize on those and iterate on those as I move into the new year to boost sales even more? If I have a strategy or a product collection or a best-selling product that has really worked well and it is proven and customers love it, I'm getting great feedback, then I want to continue to make the most of that product offering. And so I love to take a look at my sales data. If you are running on Shopify or whatever platform that you are selling on, you should have that data easily accessible in the reports, and take a look at what your customers are already buying and loving from you. What can you expand upon in your product portfolio that is performing well? How can you iterate that product to make additional products, potentially even to bundle with it, or adjacent products that customers will love just as much? This is an easy way to look back on your sales data from the past year and to really capitalize on those customer favorites and big wins, and to set yourself up for success as you move into the new year. Now, on the flip side, you also want to take a look at your products that are underperforming. You often think that carrying these products doesn't cost you money, but it does. When they are sitting on your shelves and you're carrying inventory, or even just marketing those products, it takes time, effort, energy to carry, create, and market and sell those products. What product offerings do you need to retire and get out of your product portfolio? Looking past just your products and your product portfolio, what activities did you do? What marketing, lead generation, sales activities did you do that served your business well? What sales channels brought in the most revenue, the most profit for you? Also, looking at the other end, what were some of those activities that you did that really did not serve your business, or maybe that you need to stop and were not worth the time and the energy that you invested? Maybe you don't need to stop doing those activities, but you need to outsource them. It could be simple things like updating your website, doing search engine optimization for your website. It could be other things like you need to hire someone to help you make your products and package your products for shipping. Thinking through these things really help center your business around helping you create a CEO mindset for growth. It's also vitally important for you as a business owner to think through the things that brought you joy. What activities in your business brought you joy, and what activities did you absolutely dread doing on a daily or weekly basis? Where can you outsource those activities and add it to your team, maybe even just a few hours a month? Someone that can take that off your plate so you can focus on more strategic, revenue generating, CEO mindset activities for your business. You want to create a sustainable business that you love, something that brings you joy. So I want you to think through those activities that you really enjoyed, and then the activities that you really struggled with and you dreaded, and how can you outsource those and get them off your plate? Now that you've spent time thinking through and reflecting on the past year, things that worked well, things that didn't, things that you need to get off your plate, I want you to set aside time to really set some strategic goals for your new year. Now, this is obviously going to take a lot longer than a 20-minute podcast episode. These are just ideas to get you thinking. But setting aside time, sometimes I spend a whole weekend doing this, or a whole week just getting out of my daily regular rhythms, getting away from my home, maybe taking a retreat or a small solo vacation somewhere, and setting those goals for my business. I want to make sure that they align with the values for my business, with the mission of my business, and where I want to head for the new year. I also set specific goals, sales and revenue goals. I want them to be realistic, but also I want them to push me and my team to grow and look at the big picture. Sometimes we set too realistic goals, and that can prevent us from really pushing and stretching ourselves. So I want to challenge you that it's okay to set realistic goals, but also set those stretch goals too. Don't be afraid to really stretch yourself and your team. Once I have my big goals outlined and I am confident and I ensure that they align with my mission and values for my business, that's really when I dig in and start to set the SMART framework for my goals. Now, probably most everyone knows what SMART goals are, but they're specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, and time-driven. I love setting these SMART goals. I usually do them in the form of KPIs or key performance indicators, and I review them with my team so that we're all on the same page and we all are heading in the same direction towards our big picture goals for the year. At any point in time, I can take a look at my performance indicators, and really it gives me an indication exactly what it is designed to do to tell me if my business is on the right track to hitting my overall goals for the year. So it's a very easy way to make sure that you have a good pulse check on the health of your business in achieving your goals. Once you have your SMART goals in place, and this is really where you can get to the tactical day-to-day planning for your new year. I love to do a calendar mapping session so that I understand my big product launches, my big events throughout the year. I understand the holiday seasons that are coming up and when I need to be making my products and talking about them and positioning them to retailers, because we all know in the wholesale industry, seasonality is so important and retailers are buying months in advance. And so I love to put all of that into a calendar so myself and my team are all on the same page as far as product launches and what events are coming up. It's a very tactical planning strategy that I highly, highly recommend for everyone that has a product-based business. If you need help with this, I actually have a freebie that you can grab in the show notes. It's my strategic wholesale planner for product makers. It is so helpful, has a lot of tips and tricks in there for any product-based businesses that need help with the seasonality of wholesaling, even with selling direct to consumer. So you can grab that link in the show notes and it will definitely help you with setting yourself up for success as you move into the new year. Then, of course, last thing is just taking time to rest and recover from an overwhelmingly busy holiday season. I can't stress this enough, how important it is to just take time to slow down, to rest, and to just enjoy the season. I don't think that we do that enough, especially in this season, but also just in our everyday lives. So I want to encourage you in this season to just enjoy. There is always, always, always something to do in your business. But if you don't slow down and enjoy, then what is it all worth? So that being said, don't forget to plan time to rest. So recapping very quickly, the steps that I take to set myself up for success in the new year, I always reflect back on my past year. I take those data points, really analyze them, what went well, what I want to improve on. Then I set my high level goals for the year, ensure that they align with my values and the mission of my business. I set those sales and revenue goals, and I set my key performance indicators that are SMART goals that myself and my team are all aligned on. Those KPIs are that pulse check at any point in time. I can see the health of my business and how we are trending towards accomplishing our goals. Then I take that tactical planning step and really plan out that calendar mapping session for my whole year and what that looks like as far as sales pushes, product launches, events, and all of that day-to-day prep that happens. So nothing comes as a surprise throughout the year. Now, I will say this can sound very overwhelming to you, but it does not have to be. And I walk all of my students through this in a planning party at the beginning of every new year. We literally sit down, walk through these steps together, and I give them detailed questions that they work through on their business, and we help set each individual goals for all of their businesses. We do all of the tactical planning. I give them a lot of questions to really reflect on. And so that is a part of my wholesale collective, which the doors are open right now. So if you are interested in joining the wholesale collective, you can click the link in the show notes, and that is open for a limited time. And that is a monthly membership for product makers that are looking for additional sales, marketing, and lead generation help with their product-based business. So that is coming up in January. We have trainings that are ongoing all of the time, and you get a full vault of trainings inside of the Wholesale Collective, not to mention just an amazing group, amazing community of product makers. So would love for you to join us at the Wholesale Collective and pull up a seat at the table. And we would love to help you grow your product-based business this year. And thank you for joining us this week. Until next time, I'm cheering you on. All right, that's a wrap on today's episode of She Sells Differently. Friends, it would be a huge blessing to me if you would take 2 seconds to rate and subscribe to my podcast. New episodes drop every Wednesday. Until then, I'm cheering you on in your entrepreneurial journey. See you next time.